Good morning, all of you. Welcome back. So, in the last playlist, we discussed about the design thinking, or what is design thinking, and what are the steps involved into design thinking. Also, in each step, we discuss about the tools and techniques, what we can use to accomplish that particular step, and also what are the artifacts that we can come up with each step. So we all understood that we understood how we can use design thinking process theoretically, and one of the examples that we covered into the video. Now, what we will do is, and what we are thinking to do is, we will invite some expert to talk about their experience, their real life experience solving the problem using the design thinking. For maybe we'll invite somebody who can talk about whole design thinking process. We may invite somebody who can specifically talk about one of the steps that we have in design thinking. The reason behind is because this is the technique that when we use it, then and then we can get some experience and we can have something to work upon. If we are only going through the theoretically or the theories that they have written, I don't think we can be successful. So we definitely have a good experience, people who can talk about it, and we can learn from them. So maybe let's get started today with the first session. We will invite one special guest, and we will get soon on to sharing the experience. Okay, so we have a special guest today, Mr. Nitin. Hello, Nitin. So I know him.
Hi,
I know him a little bit, but let's see. Today we'll discuss more about the design thinking. We know each other on design thinking itself only. So let's discuss because he has plenty of experience on the design thinking, even the theoretical and most probably on the practical side. So he is working in and out on design thinking. So let's drill Nitin today. So welcome Nitin, and thank you so much for joining the session.
thank you, Aditya. Thank you for having me. And
Yeah.
it's a pleasure to be talking about design thinking because it's a passion of mine. I think it's a very powerful tool. Yeah, so please go ahead. I can
Okay.
learn more about this.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, so team, let's go into it directly. So, design thinking. So, I think in the past videos we looked at design thinking and design thinking processes. So, what we will do is today we'll look into it how that design thinking process looks like on Nitin's side. So maybe he has something else to share for us to for betterment of doing the things. So let's do it. Let's see how things going. So let's again formally welcome Mr. Nitin. So Nitin did his BTech and MBA, and currently he's working in Knowing Electronics Private Limited. Most probably he is working with his friends in this company. Maybe we'll get some details later. And this is the connection ID for Nitin. I'll ping this in description box as well. So Nitin, let's get started on design thinking. So I have first very basic question on design thinking is we need to know about your journey. That's a basic thing. That's the journey part.
Definitely. So I have an MBA in innovation from Symbiosis Institute of Business Management. So one of our core subjects there was design thinking,
Oh,
and that is where it really got me interested in the whole design thinking process. And that is my first taste of design thinking, a formal education or a formal course on design thinking.
okay.
Later on, after my MBA, like you very rightly said, I started a company, a startup with a few of my friends, and it was a product-based startup, and uh, it was a great opportunity for us to sort of apply what we learned. And at the same time, the professor who actually taught us uh, design thinking at Symbiosis, his name is Dr. Bala Ranabure. He invited us to come on for a session that an online learning teaching session that he was planning to do with IIT Madras,
Mhm.
and so I was part of that course as well. It's a course on design thinking led by Dr. Bala Ramidhar. So if at all he watches this, thank you, sir. Thank you for having me on that course. And so basically, that is the academic and practical exposure that I had.
Wow, that's great. I think working with Bala sir is always a good thing. Even if we are doing remotely, it doesn't matter. It's
Yes,
the same.
yes, yes,
So era of Bala
yes,
sir
yes, yes.
is the different. We loved it.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Okay, let's move on. So, what is your first impression when you were introduced to design thinking process? So, what is your first impression? What's your first word or first sentences in your mind?
So I was very sort of surprised why how these two terms uh, could come together. I mean, design is something that we've heard in several contexts and mostly with in terms of new products or uh, even in terms of anything that we're using. We've heard of this term called design, and obviously thinking is also another term that we're very aware of. But the when the two came together, I was really surprised. What is it all about? What is design thinking all about? So that was my first impression on design thinking. And yeah, I
Yeah,
was really surprised to see these two terms come together.
yeah, it's two different mixtures, design and thinking.
Yes,
When they
thinking.
mix
Yeah,
together, I think that's magic. Okay.
seriously.
Okay. So, what do you think about design thinking? Will good for company, or maybe they can wait, or they can do? I mean, they can pilot or anything, or just I mean, just a grand overview on how company should go with design thinking process.
Okay, so I think the evidence is pretty clear in terms of how effective design thinking as a process is for organizations. You name any big company that you see out there, be it Apple, Uber, Google, they're all using the design thinking process to solve many of their very complex challenges, and it's even there in the numbers. They've been able to gain huge benefits, huge profits using the design thinking principle. So even if you look online and just search, you can see so many case studies of how companies were in very dire situation. Maybe to give you an example, there's Procter and Gamble who were
Mhm.
facing a major financial crisis at one point in time, successfully applied the design thinking process. Or more closer to home, we have companies like PepsiCo when Indra Nooyi joined in as CEO. She brought in the first chief design
Yep.
officer for PepsiCo, and that changed the game for Pepsi. And so there's so many examples of how the design thinking process can be applied in organizations at an organizational level,
Mhm.
and you see really really great benefits for these companies.
So, does size matter of the organization? It's small, big, or is that
No, no,
different?
it's
Okay.
no, it's not at all it's not at all a criterion. You can, irrespective of the size, we were a startup. We had just three or four of us working on this idea, and we were very successfully able to apply the design thinking process during our product development
Mhm.
phase, and to come out with what we believe is a really good product. So the size definitely doesn't matter.
Okay. That that's good to know. So where did you start? I think you already mentioned in your journey, but still,
Hmm.
it's your syllabus, right? Included in your syllabus, one of the subjects.
Yes, 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 yes. One of the subjects.
Uh,
So I think to answer this question, where do you start the DT process? The formal, what the theory says. In fact, IDEO or
hmm,
Stanford Design University, they are all the pioneers and the leaders of design thinking. So what they say is design thinking kicks off. It starts with an ideate phase, or no, an empathize phase actually, where you try and empathize with the customer who's facing the problem.
problem. Yep.
So I think maybe even one step before that, you can really see if you are in an organization trying to apply design thinking, then the first major challenge is what should be your design project, and there is that scoping of the design challenge itself that you really want to get right. And then probably then you can start with the design thinking framework of empathize, analyze, ideate, and solve, and so on.
Yep. Okay. Nice. So do you trust design thinking, whatever outcome
Yeah,
process or product?
yeah.
Because
So
see,
I am,
sometimes we feels that we are following, but we do not trust. If we need any shortcuts or anything, we can go and take that.
yeah,
But are
yes.
we seriously trusting the design thinking? So that's
Yeah,
the
I think again, like I was saying, the evidence is already there, and it's been around for a long time actually. I think now we're seeing sort of like a comeback. If you really look at the history of design thinking, it
Mhm.
was there. It was there a long time ago. Maybe packaged as something else, but there was really a design thinking or a design thinking sort of philosophy
Mhm.
that was there a long time ago, trying to solve challenges that did not have straightforward answers.
Yep.
That is your easiest definition for design thinking. It's a tool or a framework that you can apply where you need some amount of creativity,
Mm.
and the answers are not very straightforward, logical, or clear. So this principle of framework was always there, and for the past couple of centuries,
Mm.
it's proved its metal. Now, I think that maybe the first evidence of this process methodology must have been somewhere around the 19th century. So
Mm.
now we are in the 21st century. So I
Yes.
think design thinking as a methodology has proved this method.
Okay. That's good. What are your thinking? I mean, final verdict on in general
Mm.
design thinking process.
Mm. So I think it's a very powerful tool, and one thing that really interests me, and this is again one thing that I've learned from Dr. Bala, my mentor, when it comes to everything, especially design thinking. So he always says that design thinking is sector agnostic.
Hmm.
It is it you can apply it irrespective of which industry you are in, and you can apply it uh, irrespective of the size of the company, like you were saying, and you can even apply it. There is a book written, I forgot the book, the author, but there's a book written about how you can apply the design thinking principles to change your own life.
Hmm.
So, irrespective of what the scale is and what the interest is or the area is, you can apply design thinking to solve those challenges that you have where the answers are not very clear.
Yep. And also the I think good part is the human centric. So always we will be in
Yes,
touch with the customers or with the actual users, so that we can solve it permanently, not temporarily.
correct. These are solutions that stick, that are there
Yes.
they will be there for some time. They're
Yes.
not gimmicks. You're going to be creating real solutions and real value for your customers. And like you very rightly mentioned, you're getting that feedback and information right from the horse's mouth, the customer.
Yes.
So you can never go wrong with the solution that you're building.
Yep, that's good. So I think these are design thinking in general. I think we get through from Nitin. Now we need your personal preferences as well on on some of the design
Sure.
thinking aspects. So this is your personal, okay? So
Yeah.
okay. So what are the alternative methods would you see? Any other methods apart from design
I've not seen anything that can, directly replace design thinking as a methodology, but probably I can go in for a combination of creativity and problem solving tools.
thinking? Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to be very rigorous in terms of how, which of these tools and frameworks I would use at which point in time. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I am not very sure about how I would replace this methodology. but I think that's the closest alternative that maybe I can think about.
Okay. So was anything surprising when you expected something from design thinking process and something, I mean, surprisingly or didn't perform well, or anything you surprised you in design thinking process anywhere in your journey when
Yeah,
you're
what was surprising to me was that I always felt I had the answers.
working?
But I think design thinking really taught me that, sometimes some of your very core assumptions
Mhm.
can be wrong, and that is something that was, it's not something that was surprising about the DT process. It was something that was a revelation or a surprise that came to me when
Mm.
I applied the design thinking process.
No.
But as a methodology as such, I don't think there was anything
Mm.
really surprising, because
Yep.
it's there, it's on paper, it's a tried and tested methodology again. So I think this was a really big surprise when I actually applied it, and I thought it would. I knew there would be some impact, but even with some of the very fundamental assumptions, I think design thinking helped me to understand that you cannot take anything for granted. You really need to be talking to your customers
Yes.
before you take any free decisions.
Yes, that's also surprising that sometimes our assumptions may get wrong.
Yeah.
Something we consider as constraint that becomes the one of the biggest thing in our project when we keep up.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes, that happens to me as well. Okay, so what do you think? What is the easiest step to accomplished?
Okay. So I think as far as easiest goes, I think there is this phase of solving or ideating.
Mm-hmm.
That is quite easy because you just have to brainstorm, and
Mm.
you just have to come up with a lot of wacky and
Yes.
obviously good ideas. So that's something that you can just sit and do based on the information that you've collected from your previous stages of empathization
Yep.
and analysis.
Yep.
You can This phase is pretty easy. You can just sit down and maybe brainstorm, and you just keep a number that we want to come up with these many ideas at the end of this, and then
Yep.
probably you
So
come up with it.
what is the hardest then?
The hardest, obviously, I think there is a phase of testing
Mm-hmm.
or prototyping. So that especially is hard, as more so for people with who are not very resourceful. But the DT process is very flexible in that way, because you can use maybe prototypes made out of cardboard, made out of paper, and so on. But as you really progress with your design thinking iterations, and you're getting closer and closer to a product that you want to really launch in the market,
Mm.
then this whole prototyping, that's a real effort. Uh,
Mm.
you need to spend time, you need to spend resources on
Yes.
developing and on modifying these
Even
prototypes.
accommodating the feedbacks if we have
Yes,
immediate.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. That's, yes. Typically, that's hardest one. I think so as well.
Yeah.
Uh, what is one thing you liked about DT process?
Mm, I think one again, I have to mention that again, it's completely sector agnostic.
Hmm.
There is no barrier in terms of anyone who want to learn uh,
Yep.
design thinking. I know about companies who are trying to take design thinking to schools,
Hmm.
to children, because again, it's something that it's like a weapon in your arsenal
Hmm.
that you can sort of use in even your personal life situations, or just it's a mindset as well.
Hmm.
So it really changes the way you look at and approach problems. So that's one thing I really liked about how agnostic it is
Hmm.
in terms of anyone, no matter what discipline, what trade, whatever you're into, what your age is, anyone can come in and learn this methodology, and it will become it's something that will be really useful for that person.
Yep. And same way, what did you dislike? Anything you dislike?
Uh, I don't think there's anything that I dislike, but I think sometimes it can be a little, very. Uh, it's a time consuming, and
Yes.
there's a lot of iterations and a lot of uh, loops that you have to
Yes.
go through. But I think again, that's something you have to do.
Yes.
I don't think there's a shortcut to that.
Yep.
But it's a very iterative process, and sometimes you have to, go from step 1 to 4, step 2 to 3,
Hmm.
then 3 back to 1. So it's again about trying to apply it more and more and learning from it. So I think, the more you understand, like anything else, the more you understand, the more you have clarity on how to apply it, and then you can really start looking at how you can apply design thinking to some of the more complex challenges,
Hmm.
really complicated problems, what's called the wicked problems. As in, it's called wicked problems because there's no, clear definition of the problem itself. So that's when you really see the power of design thinking. But I myself have just got exposed to design thinking maybe in the last 4 5 years, and
Mhm.
I think I'm still just taking those first steps. So the more you learn about the process, you understand how powerful the tool is.
Yep. I think that's also a fun part because see,
Yeah.
time will take it, the maybe empathize, analyze, solve, and test it. But when it will be tested properly and it will be empathized properly and analyzed properly, it will definitely pay back because we don't have any
Yes.
such much development efforts. All our was the
Mhm.
communication and the creativity. We already need it. That's the only thing we needed when we have the brilliant product. So I think
Yes. Yes.
time spending on that will be actually paid off at the end of the or maybe start of the product development, actual product development.
I
So
think
yeah,
everyone should give it a shot
yeah,
and learn this.
definitely, yeah. And last thing, I think if you could have changed anything in design thinking process, you personally need to change it or tweak it something. What would it be?
Uh, I don't think there's anything I would want to change. I think it's a very well tried and tested
Mhm.
methodology, and I'm no one to give my free inputs on how I can change the DT process. Yeah, so I think, but I think in association with this question, I think I would like to see design thinking as a methodology being shared with more number of people,
Mhm.
because like you're saying, it's not something that can just be applied in business.
Yes.
It can be something that can be applied across the board. So I think one thing I would like to change is how this does not just it's not just given to or shared with people who are in this small framework of business and so on,
Yep.
but it gains a much wider audience and more people are exposed to the design thinking process.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's the plan, I guess. If more people will understand the process and implement, they'll get succeed. And we'll also
Yes.
get a proper product as well if we are the user of that particular product. So
Correct.
we'll be happy too
Yes,
if
it's
we
a
have.
win-win situation.
Exactly. It's a win-win situation. Okay, I think thank you so much, Nitin, for connecting
Okay.
with us. Do you want to share anything or any other experience with us?
No, I guess that was what I really wanted to tell anyone who's watching. Do check out the design thinking process or the design thinking methodology. I think there's enough and more materials out there, and obviously people like Aditya are trying to take it out, and I think that's the main motive with Aditya as well. That
Yep.
more and more people should really understand this methodology and gain benefit from it, reap benefit from it. So it's a very fantastic tool, guys. I urge you to check it out. I urge you to understand the whole uh, principle behind design thinking. It's really nice.
Okay. Uh, Last one, I think thank you so much, Nitin, for your time. I know you have a busy schedule, but thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you for having me,
Yep.
Aditya. It's a
Thank
pleasure
you.
talking
Bye
to you.
bye.